Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so excited that you have chosen to spend your evening with us. Who here wants to do more deals, help more people at the same time, right? And also not have to spend more money doing it. Yeah, that's a good one, right? Not have to spend a lot more. Yeah, Megan, that's what I'm talking about. Megan, good to see you here. What's up? What's up? I see a lot of good familiar faces here. We got Megan, we got Joanne, we got Jonathan, we got Kevin, we got Kyle, we got Laura. Love it, love it, love it, guys. You know what? Here's the thing. I love Zooms. I'm going to be honest, right? And so do my beautiful, lovely co-hosts, Jennifer Huber and Amy Brand. We love Zooms. We love people. We love to talk with you. We love to see you. But this is a webinar tonight. Now, just plant a little seed. We may be doing a special extra training for those of you that go, wait a minute, I got questions and I want to rock and roll. So we'll get more interactive. But for tonight, we're on a webinar, but we can see you, right? And you should be able to put your questions in the chat. And I would love to know more about you. We want to know, where are you from? Okay, so maybe put your city and state. Would love to know, are you a real estate agent? Are you a loan officer? Are you an investor, right? And who invited you? Who invited you here? Because we have a lot of amazing people in our community and our network. Some amazing students, some amazing partners. And so there's a very good chance that one of them invited you. So we'd love to know who invited you and where are you and what are you looking to get the most out of tonight, right? All right. Love to know it. So go ahead and drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Love it, love it, love it. Make sure you put it to everyone. There we go. There we go. Love it. Awesome. We got Megan, Austin, Nordhaus Real Estate Group. That's what I'm talking about. Springfield, Illinois. Yeah. Hugo, Minnesota. All right. Got Kyle, mortgage broker, Minnesota. Investment software developer. Kyle's got some awesome stuff coming on the software. Super pumped about that. Super pumped. Love it, guys. Awesome. Drop it in the chat. Where you're from. What do you do? What are you most excited about? And who invited you here? Okay. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is jump on over. We're going to get into this. So I totally want to be respectful of your time tonight, but we have a lot to cover. We have a lot to go through, and we may have some time for a little live Q&A at the end, and we want to make sure we can get to everything here. And so with that, guys, I'm going to start our presentation. All right, guys. Okay. Everybody see that okay? Fantastic. Guys, welcome to unBankable, homeownership without the bank. Now, guys, what we're talking about tonight is we're talking about turn down treasure. So I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to tap into a completely missed niche in the market that really no one else is even thinking about, okay? You will learn how to take a buyer who can't qualify for traditional financing and pair them up with an investor to get them a home, get you a full commission, and maybe even more than a full commission, and get an investor an awesome deal all at the same time. And all of this with basically no marketing budget, right? So this is taking leads and people you already have in your database, in your sphere, in your CRM, in your community. You're not spending more money. You're not signing up for anything, right? This is people you already got. Okay, so now don't forget, we're going to help you get leads right now and for free. Now, if you stay until the end, we'll also help you unlock an exclusive bonus. Okay, so guys, we have, for those of you that have to stay to the end, to the very end, word for word email scripts that we'll send you, proven phone scripts that we'll send you, and high converting social media templates. I'm talking, guys, easy peasy, things you can copy, paste, send, get leads. Copy, paste, send, get leads. Okay. We want to start putting some leads and dollars in your pocket right away. That's all you got to do. So, but here's the catch, okay? Here's the catch. The offer disappears when the webinar ends tonight, okay? So stick around, stay till the end. I promise that you will not want to miss this, all right? Now, also, please turn off any distractions, okay? In fact, I'm going to do it right now, real quick. Do not disturb, right? Anyone I need to talk to in the whole world is either in the other room or on this presentation with me right now. So here we go. I'm doing do not disturb, right? Boom, there it is, right? Silence your phone, put on Do Not Disturb, go to a quiet area, right? And make sure, guys, grab a pen and a paper and be ready to write down some notes. And you're going to start thinking about people that you can help right now with our system, okay? And I want to say congratulations. Thank you for being here. Seriously, it's the evening time. It's the end of the week. You could be anywhere. You could be, hanging out with family. You could be playing. You could be relaxing from a hard day. But you are here and you are investing in yourself and your education, in your future, in your community. And honestly, that puts you guys like in the top 2%. No joke. You're in the top 2% because you are different by doing that. And I commend you for being here and appreciate it. We are honored that you're spending your time with us to learn, again, how to help yourself and your future and your community. So one of the questions that we really want you to ask yourself is, where do you fit in? Where do you fit in what we're going to teach you? Okay? Because there's kind of 3 different avenues you could take with this, all right? And so I want you to be thinking through those 3 different lenses or 3 different avenues you could go down, right? Now, number 1, you might be a really busy, successful agent, right? Maybe you're a lender, right? I think a lot of agents on here, but we might have some lenders on here. And if you're a lender, you know agents. And guys, just so you know, lenders help agents, agents help lenders. And we also have investors. So we have a few different puzzle pieces, if you will. You'll get to hear more about that, okay? But so you might be really busy. You just want more leads. You want more leads without spending any more money, any more marketing dollars. And just by referring your turndowns and hungry investors, that's how you can win. And you want to just keep doing your thing. And that's fine. That's awesome. Okay. Now you also might be a little bit different. You might say, hey, I want to expand my current business to have multiple streams of income by learning this system, this whole system, not just like throw some leads here and there, but I want to learn how to do this entire thing myself, right? Like Jennifer and Amy here, right? They're kind of in that camp. Or number 3, which is also Jennifer and Amy. I want to start or scale a real estate investing business so I can have lifestyle and financial freedom, right? Now, maybe you want to start actually, growing passive income and, creating opportunities to build your net worth and reduce your taxes, right? And so if that's you, I want you to be really thinking about that because you're going to see some opportunities in our presentation and go, oh my God, that would be amazing. How do I do that? Okay. So you're going to probably be one of those 3 and we're going to come back to this at the end. Okay. Now, let's just cut to the chase. Nobody, especially anybody here tonight, nobody wants to be average, right? It's after hours. You don't have to be here. You are here because you are different, because you want to, see growth and you want to be the best that you can. And I love that. That's why you're here. Okay. So guys, in 2024, the average realtor made $56,400, 56 grand, average realtor. Okay. Well, what if I were to tell you there's a way you can make 2 to 3 times that or more just from buyers who can't get traditional financing? Like literally more than what the average agent made across the country for the year. You can make 2 to 3 times that, maybe 5, maybe even more than that, right? Just from buyers that can't buy. And no one else is going after these leads, right? So let's just dream for a minute. With an average national purchase price. Now I know we got people from all over the country on this. I've seen already like a dozen different states, right? And people that messaged me before like, hey, I'll see you later. I'll be on it, right? So I know we have a lot of different people from all over the place, okay? But with the average national purchase price of $400,000, right? Our average income ranges from $10,000 to $25,000 a deal, all right? Well, what if you were to help 5 people, only 5, using our system and make an additional $50,000, maybe even $100,000, right? What if you didn't have to spend $1 to do that? And what if the opportunities came to you instead of you chasing them like everyone else? Right? So let's talk about our results a little bit. I've closed literally hundreds of deals in the 10 plus years doing this personally. That's myself. Then between Jennifer and Amy, we've closed, 500 transactions and mortgages on the lending side, okay, and on the real estate side and the brokerage side. We've created a laptop lifestyle where we don't have to be in an office or answer to the man. We've helped hundreds of agents and students add hundreds of thousands of dollars to their annual revenue and commissions. Okay. Also, in the top 5% of agents, only from unqualified buyers, just from unqualified buyers, not regular buyers, unqualified. We've enabled hundreds of families to get home ownership and nationally recognized as a lease to own and seller financing expert. Okay. So guys, who is this presentation for? This is for successful agents who want to grow. This is for someone willing to think outside the box. This is for anyone who wants to start investing in real estate or grow your current portfolio faster, right? And with less money and stress. Who doesn't want that? Sign me up. This is for agents who want to help people and make great money at the same time. And this are folks who got into real estate for time, freedom, and flexibility, right? I think we kind of all did that. And for agents who are sick and tired of feeling like a commodity. All right, now who is this not for? Well, it's not for someone looking for overnight millions. This is not for anyone closed-minded or just plain lazy. Sorry, it's not going to work out that well. This is not for someone who hates talking to people. This is a people business. We're helping, right? We're coaching, we're growing, we're problem solving, and that involves helping people. This is for folks who are, or not, I should say, not for folks who are content with their place in life. If you're content, you wouldn't be here, right? So I don't think we even need to say that. You wouldn't be here right now. And it's not for agents at all with lack of morals or integrity whatsoever, right? We are helping people who are in a maybe a vulnerable situation sometimes, and we are helping somebody who's like in one of the most stressful moments of their lives with a situation like this, and it really requires morals and ethics and integrity. Right now, quick little disclaimer. I have to give you our disclaimer, right? But we and our team are here to support you, and we're here to be your guide. We are not giving you any legal or tax advice whatsoever. Okay. There is no guarantee that this will work for you, and you should consult your own local brokers and attorneys and CPAs for your specific situations, state laws, and company rules, okay? And laws and even the terminology are different in each state, right? So just want to make sure we get that out of the way. Now, let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's talk about some case studies. Right? Let's talk about a buyer who thought they could get a mortgage, who maybe was pre-approved and then got denied and couldn't get the home, and an agent who thought they had a deal and then thought they got a paycheck coming and it all blew up. Well, that was this one right here. This was in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Now, this was a home that we purchased for $285,000. The lead was free. Okay. The investor got this, I should say, for $285,000. Now what happened? The buyer's financing fell apart mid-transaction. The referring realtor who referred it to us saved the deal and made $7,700 instead of zero. They would have made $7,700. Then they were going to make nothing and lose it. But because unBankable came in and helped them save the deal, they made their $7,700. Now, us, as the deal creators in the situation, made $10,500. Okay? Here's another one we had in Savage, Minnesota. Right? This is outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul area. Purchase price was $385,000. What was the cost of the lead? Free $99. It was a buyer turn down, and it was a loan officer referral. Right? Again, referral, network, free. The realtor that was involved made $10,000. That, again, they almost lost that. And guys, and I'd love to pop in the chat, right? Have you ever had a deal that blew up and you thought you had a paycheck coming and all of a sudden it blew up? How much did you lose? Right? Because if it's happened to you, you know the dollar amount. It stings, right? Even if it was like 5 years ago, you're like, oh my Lord, there was $17,600 I was going to make on the one deal because I spent 3 months with these people and showed them 100 houses, right? So, but here's the deal where they almost lost $10,000. The poor homeowners almost lost this, beautiful home they've been dreaming about, and we were able to make it happen still, okay? And we made $17,500 by saving the deal. Here's another one we did in Wisconsin, right? Purchase price $228,000, lead cost free. This is, again, the buyer's financing fell apart mid-transaction. They were pre-approved, heading towards home plate, and then all of a sudden it blew up. The referring realtor made their $6,000 on this. Again, that's what they would have made. So they made their full commission. We made $14,000 putting the deal together. Right? And I got a couple more for you, okay? So you can see here's a $200,000 house. Here's an $800,000 house in Eden Prairie, right? Beautiful home. Who wouldn't want to have a property like this, by the way, guys, as an investment property? Are you kidding me? I'd live in that all day long, right? Great area, great home, $800,000 purchase price. The lead, how much do we pay to get this really good lead? $0, free $99, right? It's from our network. They were a self-employed tenant buyer. They still qualified for FHA, but they couldn't get this deal, okay? So at the end, we profited $45,600 on this deal, and the agent made $21,000 commission, okay? But you can see, right? You're seeing some different numbers here. So This is going to put a lot of money back in your pocket and help you help your clients a lot more by having us as an option and solution. And then there's also a way to potentially do the system. Okay, so we'll talk more about both of those. This is in Lehigh Acres, Florida, just outside of Fort Myers area. Our investor guys bought this for $330,000. They immediately sold it for $360,000. Okay, so they basically bought it, sold it, made $30,000. Kind of in an hour, with a net investment of only $10,000 down. That's what the investor came in with, guys, was $10,000. So remember at the beginning here, just a little bit ago, when I said you're going to probably fall into one of three different, maybe, buckets. I hate to say buckets, but you're going to fall into three different roles or paths you could take with this, right? You just, here's some leads. I want to learn how to do this. Or I'm an investor and I want to start building freedom and cash flow, right? And equity. This is a great investment deal if you're an investor. Tenant buyer who couldn't get the mortgage was able to put down $72,000. Okay, this thing cash flows $434 a month. It's a 52% cash on cash. The year one ROI was 78%. And if you knew how to get these deals, or you just know us and the person who invited you to this presentation tonight, this could be you as an investor, okay? Or again, the agent saved the day. So a lot of different ways to put these together. This is an interesting one. I feel like there might be a couple of people who can speak a little bit better about this deal than myself. Jennifer, Amy, would you like to talk about case study number 6? Oh, and you're muted. There you go.
So case study number 6. This also was a free 99. We had a lender that this property was under contract and it was not going to be able to get traditional financing. And they called us and said, hey, can you save the deal? We said, not only can we save the deal, this was an amazing deal and it was a unicorn. And so we wanted the deal. So
you like unicorns.
Yeah, we like unicorns and they do come, right? And we can't take them all. So we love having investors that we can pass them on to. So the purchase price for this was $399,900. Immediately, when the tenant buyer buys it, it's $440,000. So there's $40,000 right there. The investor, who was me, had to borrow $80,000, $400,000 purchase price, 20% down, $80,000, right? Out of my pocket. When the tenant buyer is buying it from me, they put down $100,000. So I was able to purchase this property with no money in.
Zero.
They paid me to buy the house.
So most investors, you probably know, guys, are out putting down 20% to go buy rental properties to get a tenant that have 1 month's rent. And then, there you go. You're a landlord. Welcome to being a landlord. Jennifer got paid to go buy a property then with no money out of her pocket, which is called an infinite cash on cash return because there's no investment in the deal.
Plus, I get monthly cash flow of $871 a month. The tenant put $100,000 down on this house, so they are not destroying this thing. They truly want it. They love it. They're taking care of it. This is beautiful. It sits on the ocean on the backside. It is really gorgeous little area. And so they just love it. They're part of an HOA. They have a pool and it's a lovely community. And they can't wait to have their own loan. And we're working towards that for them. So during the interim, I get to make paid nothing. I make cash flow and I have a profit at the end as well.
And an agent still got a commission saved that they would have made nothing, and they got their full commission.
Full commission.
And I'll just add to that, guys. When this buyer, was connected with us, so the lender had oh my goodness, right? So connected it with us as a solution. We reviewed that just like any other buyer. And this buyer is absolutely amazing. She totally had great income. She had money down. She picked out the house with her agent. Her agent then got the call and said, hey, financing cannot work. And then we came in. She had the contract that was about 2.5 weeks left because they were fully planning on close, packed up, moved out. She had nowhere to go, right? And from that perspective, we were able to only get 1 week extension, and we still closed this in 3 weeks. And she was able to move into that house just like she had planned. And she went from not knowing where she was going to live to now getting the home that she had picked out with her real estate agent, and her real estate agent got her full commission.
I mean, it's such a beautiful system, guys. Literally, we say it all the time. It just sounds cheesy because it just sounds so good, but it's a win-win-win. It's not even a win-win-win, right? The buyer wins, she still got her house, right? The investor, who happens to be Jennifer, who joined our program, her and Amy, to learn how to do this more. And on one of her first deals they did, get this amazing opportunity, right? And then you've got the agent getting the commission still, right? And you have the lender who's still going to get the mortgage, by the way. It's just coming back to them, but they weren't getting it right now anyways, right? But if you're a loan officer on this, or if you work with some really good LOs, right? And I'm sure you do they need loans next year? Of course they do. Do they need loans in 2 years? Of course they do, right? So now this person has got to go back and get that mortgage. And so they have built-in future business, right? So it's pretty awesome, guys. We're going to go with just a
So
couple more. And we've got a
one
couple.
thing I will add to
Yeah,
Jesse
please.
too is the phone call that went from that real estate agent to the lender that actually called us
Hmm.
was like totally going to make sure that that next deal that, is traditional lending, went right back to that lender, which is,
Yeah.
fabulous. And if she happened to have an unbankable in the future, she knew that that lender had solutions.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's such a great point. Thank you for saying that because that's the thing, guys. We want to give you tools to separate you from everyone else. We want to give you tools to help you provide more value, right, to your network and to your community. And when you have these tools, and all of a sudden now you've got people coming to you instead of you going to them because you've got something different, guys, that's where you want to be, right? And so you can see some of these deals are a way to do that. So, Amy, do you want to talk about case study number 7 with Columbus, Mississippi?
Sure. So this was a tenant buyer. Her husband and her family had went through some medical issues and some challenges that caused them to kind of have to be off of work, and that caused a financial strain on their family. And so it really affected their ability to continue to pay while they had to be off work. They owned a property, and so they were going to sell their property and buy another property. And unfortunately, they were kind of stuck because they couldn't buy. So they had a property they wanted to sell, and then they wanted to buy a property, and the bank said no. Because they had some delays and gaps in their income, they also were affected negatively in regards to their credit. And so that 399, and we got the call, and she shared her story. They totally could financially afford it. We explained the program, they understood it, and we contacted a hybrid investor, and they said, yep. And so now we have a hybrid investor that it has the ability to help this family that couldn't buy. They sold their property, they purchased the home that they chose. The real estate agent that helped them got full commission, as well as the hybrid investor to be able to have cash flow. And they only needed 1 or 2 years. And yep, that's a little bit about them.
And guys, again, if you're looking at this as someone who is a current real estate investor right now, or you've been thinking about it for a while but haven't pulled the trigger to get into investing, right? Guys, you're not finding a lot of deals out there that are 24% cash on cash in a 35% ROI, right? And with a lot of the less headaches and hassles of being a regular landlord, and with somebody amazing that you're helping get the home that they want.
I'll add one more thing, Jesse. This hybrid investor actually is a broker.
Mm,
She's a property manager,
mm,
and she's a flipper. And she wanted to be able to have some cash flow,
mm,
right? Without having to deal with all the tenants, toilets, and trash, right? And so this buyer, and when we connected them, they were a really good fit. And so now she has immediate cash flow and is ready to do it again.
That is awesome. And can do more deals because of the way this is set up with not needing the full 20% down net investment, right? At the end of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you see here, she would have needed 37,000. I mean,
55,
she would have needed
56.
56,700 down, but because the tenant buyer comes in with their money down, she only had to come up with 37,000 down, 38,000. So it does give you the opportunity to be able to buy more properties instead of having to put that full 20% down on everything.
Yeah, which is super powerful, right? Super powerful. And these are beautiful homes, right? These are great homes, great areas. It's awesome. So, guys, real quick, when you're listening to someone, you want to know, okay, well, who am I talking to, right? Kind of what is their background? What is their credibility? And, some of you may know me. Some of you may know me well. Some of you may not know me at all, right? And you might not know Jennifer and Amy. And so, for me, guys, my life, I've been an entrepreneur since I was probably 14 years old, right? I went door to door to 100 houses, handing out flyers saying, I'll mow your lawn, because I had a job in the mall for like 6 months and I hated it. I was getting $5 an hour and I'm like, oh, I got to stay here until you tell me, and it's dark. And I didn't like that. I went to college. I went for about 5.5 years, dropped out. I'm like Van Wilder, right? Never really got that degree. Don't really care. When I was in college, I had a chain of sunglass kiosks. I had 3 different kiosks in the malls. I had 15 employees. Things were great. And then 9/11 came, and then they weren't great all of a sudden, right? Realized that things can change quick. But after a couple years of doing retail and retail sales, I got in the mortgage business, and was in the mortgage business for, over 15 years, and had success in the mortgage business. Was never like in the top 5%, but I always did very, very well. And, things were great. And got a brand new house and, new truck, and bam, like a year later, '08 happened. And just curious, anyone here, did you go through 2008? Anyone here, were you doing real estate or mortgage lending or investing in 2008? If you were, drop it in the chat. Curious, what were you doing? Did it impact you? How did it affect you? Right?
I was scooping up all those short sales in Las Vegas.
Ooh, and you're getting things for how cheap?
Oh my gosh. $25,000, $30,000 with tenants in place making money.
See, and here's the thing, guys. People who have the know-how and the skills and the network and the systems, they can pounce on opportunities. And then other times, right, if you don't know that or you're not prepared, like me, I was not prepared at the time. I wasn't ready for those things that were coming my way, right? So I went through the crash. Guys, I'll tell you right now, I went through a bankruptcy. I had to short sell my own house. And I tell you that because if you've got some scars and some things you've been through, it's all good. That's part of your story, right? And what matters is you get back on the horse and you keep going. And so I did that, got back on my feet, went from, making multiple 6 figures a year to all of a sudden now I had to go work for somebody else and make like 45,000 a year and have a boss again. And I'm like, man, well, things are crazy in the market, right? So I wanted things to get a little normal again in the real estate world. Well, I started listening to a lot of YouTube and podcasts, right? And I bought some online courses. And I started learning about how can you buy real estate with no money down, right? You hear all these no money down gurus and bad credit and no money, right? And I'm like, well, that's me. I got bad credit and I don't have a lot of money right now because I was starting over again. And so I was in this boat, but I wanted to learn more. And got back in the mortgage business after a few years, taking off, right? So I bought a course. Bought my first course. It was $1,000. I'll be honest, guys. At the time, I did not have $1,000 to spend on a course. I had no extra income at all, but borrowed a little bit, put some on a credit card, and I said, okay, this guy I'm watching online can do this. I think I can do this. And it was a course on wholesaling lease options, right? And I knew as a mortgage lender, my job was to help people get homes. And if they could qualify, I could help them. And if they couldn't qualify, I couldn't help them. I also knew I spent a lot of years making other people wealthy and helping other people buy and sell homes, but I wasn't doing it for myself, right? So I bought this course. I did my first deal and I made $8,000 on my first deal. Paid for my $1,000 course. And I was like, holy cow, It works. Oh my God. And by the way, if I could have done that mortgage, I think I would have made like $2,500. So I made way more than I would have even if I could have done that deal, right? And it was pretty incredible. So, guys, the turning point for me was I was like most agents, like most of you and most lenders, right? And I kind of felt like a commodity, like I was competing against everyone and I was stuck in a box, right? I wanted to make more money and I wanted to have a position of authority. And I hated that I wasn't able to close all my leads and help all my clients, right? To me, it's like it's a puzzle and it's a game. Like I want to win. I want everybody to win, right? But if I had to turn somebody down or I couldn't get them approved or God forbid it blew up an underwriting for something, right? Hopefully not my fault, but things happen, right? They would leave the meetings unhappy. I wasted my time. I didn't get paid. They didn't get the home they wanted, right? And nobody won at all. And so, have you ever heard this phrase, guys? If you want better answers, ask better questions, right? Well, I started asking myself, okay, I'm learning, I did this course and I've done a couple of deals now, and I can help get buyers who can't get a mortgage still into a home through like a lease to own or contract for deed or seller financing. But I was matching up sellers that couldn't sell with buyers that couldn't buy. Okay, and it was working. It was working pretty good. And I started almost making more money on the side doing this real estate stuff than I was with my mortgage job. Okay. But I thought to myself, well, what if the buyer who can't buy could choose the house they want right now instead of waiting, right? Instead of like going to my website and looking at my 10 or 15 houses, what if they could just pick out a house? And what if I could reverse engineer the math so an investor gets a really good deal the minute they buy a property? And what if we could even charge a fee to the investor, right, for creating a really great deal on a silver platter and handing it to them? And then what if I compensated people, right, legally, of course, and compliantly, for referrals so they could keep sending us more people to help? Well, what if I could do all that, right? Guys, then it hit me. There are millions of buyers that can't buy out there right now for lots of different reasons. Many of them have money to put down and can afford normal rental prices, but they would really rather own, right? And they just need more time to make some changes to get some traditional financing lined up. And there are countless investors looking for steady cash flow and for good tenants, right? And especially tenants who really think and act like buyers. So why chase all the same leads everyone else is when we can have others send us their junk leads, right? And we can turn them into wins for everybody. Now, I realized that, guys, as I started doing this, I can get paid for finding puzzle pieces. And I had people coming to me because I got on some podcasts and then I got on some YouTube shows and interviews. And all of a sudden people were kind of coming to me saying, Jesse, how does this stuff work, right? And I'm kind of struggling in my business, and this sounds like something really cool, but I don't know anything about it. Can you help me? And so I said, well, yeah, this is super fun. So if I can share with people how I got into it, then we can all help more people together. So these are a couple of my students, just awesome guys that did their first deal, right? And so now we have students all over the country right now that are partnering with us and creating deals and getting $10,000 to $20,000 checks simply from finding two puzzle pieces and matching them up, right? And guys, we'll pay you even for just one of the two puzzle pieces, right? And that's how these two beautiful, bubbly, fun blondes entered my life and entered my world. And Jennifer and Amy came on board and saw me on a presentation with a bunch of loan officers and mortgage brokers. And they're like, oh my Lord, this is amazing. How many more people in our community could we help if we knew how to do the system, if we knew we had access to this? How many more investors could we help, right? Grow their portfolio and retirement and be able to leave a legacy for their family and get financial freedom and actually make a difference if we can do all this. And so anyways, I think this is a great point where I'd love for Jennifer and Amy to give themselves a great introduction, better than I can. And we're going to talk about how they got into this and what they're doing and the successes they're having.
Absolutely. So thanks, Jesse. So I've been in real estate and lending for over 26 years. And, I knew as a lender myself, I had families just like you when you shared, like when I had to say no. And that's really hard because you're doing all the work. You have to pick up the phone and you're calling your real estate professionals that are there, and they're doing all the work and the insurance and the title. And it just depends on how far you get into that. And it is never fun. So when the banks say no, we say yes, was really intriguing. And so when I saw what you had built, I was like, that's it. That's a solution. I had a credit counseling, credit repair company for many years before I had a mortgage company. I started in affordable housing, and so it just was a really good fit to transition into solutions to be able to help families. And Jennifer and I, and also my son, which is now 17, we had been growing in the real estate space because I didn't know what I didn't know. So I partnered with some amazing mentors in my life. And now that's where, when we met you, I was like, this just makes sense. So it wasn't something that I needed to transition from. I was already doing it. I just didn't have a solution. And now that's what unBankable allows us to be able to do, is to help more families, real estate professionals in every case. So when, when there is a no, there is another way.
Love that. Love that. Oh, Jennifer, you're muted.
For me, I've been investing for about 30 years and have done some creative financing stuff. I've owned commercial properties. We've had lots of rentals. As I said, we were in the Las Vegas market during the whole short sale thing. And, we were wholesaling and flipping and holding. And, we've had a bunch of properties here in Mississippi for a long period of time. And so I had always mostly bought things in the traditional manner and had to put a lot of money down. And then I got a lot of tenants, lots of tenants. And so that means lots of toilets and trash sometimes. And, we looked at this is a unique opportunity to help people, good people that just want a home today, that really want to take care of it as a home. And for me or other investors, I actually get the opportunity to host the Mississippi Real Estate Investors Association here on the Gulf Coast. And so I see investors coming in all the time, and they're challenged. They don't always have all the money that they need, or they have a property that doesn't quite fit. And I'm like, we can solve these problems, right? So it's like you said, we're putting the puzzle pieces together. And if it's, I can only take so many, Amy can only take so many, you can only take so many, right? So we want to be able to help others in the community, whether they are looking to, they have turndowns as agents, because I am an agent, or if there's loan officers that, need help, moving their people forward, or you have investors that are looking for unique opportunities. Maybe they're a pilot or a doctor or something like that, and they don't have time to constantly be worried about, the tenants' toilets and trash and getting those phone calls. This is a great way for them to get in, or a baby investor that wants to partner with somebody that wants to help them out on that first investment. So we are just really blessed and excited to be here and learn and have the opportunity, like, truly to share this with other realtors so that they can do the same thing, right? And make money while they're serving their families that they serve.
Yeah. And I, having done, again, hundreds and hundreds, I mean, probably in the thousands of mortgages and transactions, the people that we help and we serve are so grateful. They're so incredibly grateful, and they don't think they have really any other options. And, they're like, oh, I guess I'm just not going to get a home, or I'm going to lose this one, right? Or I have to go rent something crappy that I don't want. And then we can come in and say, wait a minute, we might be able to help with a solution. And they're so grateful. And I love this picture. Is this your first deal that you guys closed in your first family? Or I know you had like 3 in a row. So I love it. So tell us real quick about this situation. And I see one of our awesome investors in here as well, Richard, who is, he came into the program, boy, about a year ago, and I don't know how many he's bought now. I think we're somewhere between half a dozen and a dozen properties. But he's really, learned on the investor side of things, which is super cool. So talk about this family.
Absolutely. So this right here was on the porch that in Ocean Springs in our office. And it was so funny how this came about. So Richard flew in so he could meet all of our team members. He met with insurance agents. He met with title companies. He met with builders. We went on site, flippers, and everyone in our transaction. So we were able to do that. And while we were, you see a community bank officer that is here, and we had lunch together, and it was just so funny because we had just gotten our first or maybe second actually check that was dropped off, and it was in a binder, and we were sitting there together, and she goes, take it. So we had our banker who we bank with, and then we had an investor that helped us with the deal. And then you'll see Dwayne there. And so it was kind of funny that day. We got the check, we had lunch, she took it to the bank, and all while just, it was just amazing. And so that's what you're seeing in the picture here today.
And at that lunch, she, as the community bank officer, said, hey, I have this family. They're part of the community. I really want to help serve them. I just can't get them qualified right now, but they need a house. Can you guys help them? So we approved them. They are out shopping. And Richard, since he was sitting at lunch, even though he's not from this area, he's like, oh, I love this story. I'll take this deal. So, we're working in collaboration. It's not competition. And we know that when that tenant buyer is ready, they're going back to community bank to get their regular loan so that they go back to the loan officer they started with, because that's building collaboration.
Absolutely. Right. And
one
guys,
other thing.
go ahead.
Sorry, Jesse.
Good.
So the other thing too is Jennifer is a real estate agent, but we don't do kind of traditional type of real estate. So we were able to refer that to one of our certified agents that is with unBankable. And so they love the program. They spent a little time with us understanding it, and we certified them to be a part of our team. So we referred that right over. And we do that over and over and over, because you don't see here, but Deacon is part of our team. He's unschooled. He started when he was 12. He's now 17, so he's a part of us. And so he is lead gen. And so we have lead generation. So we help more families, and we refer that to our agents. So it is a win-win-win, and funny how it all just kind of creates that deal, but it comes from a win-win-win perspective.
Yeah.
There's Deacon. He's in the back there.
So guys, and now, because, Jennifer and Amy and Deacon and Dwayne have had so much success, getting the unBankable program in their area and their market going, okay, we'd like to do things differently. Why do we want to do the same things that everyone else is doing and fighting and chasing over the same leads and kind of trading dollars for hours? And so they actually are part of our Deal Creator Academy, which is something different and special we have, and we can tell you more about that at another time. But it's really for people who want lifestyle freedom, passive income, to grow wealth, and it's pretty cool. So this is an event we got together at one of my short-term rentals in Florida at one of my properties in December. And we have an amazing community of people. But that's what I love is our community nationwide, right? We have real estate agents, we have lenders, we have investors, right? And everyone is looking to say, okay, how can we collaborate? How can we help each other, each win, right? And get what we're all looking to do. So it's a really, really, really fun, awesome thing. But I want to just real quick, guys, go over the system with you, okay? And just so you know, you should be taking some notes. And are you thinking of anybody? Are you thinking of anyone that maybe you denied, or your lender denied, or someone that said, hey, I don't know if I can get qualified, but I really want a house? You should be taking notes, right? I want, by the time we're done with this presentation, you have zeros coming towards you of people we can help. And it was, a really good investment of your time, okay? But the system overview, right? So we save pending deals that are unable to close due to financing. We're helping buyers who get turned down by traditional lenders. We let the buyer get to choose the home they want. So the buyer's picking out a home off the MLS, or maybe a non-MLS property. We'll do both, right? But the buyer's picking what they want, okay? Now, these great tenant buyers, we call them, because they're a tenant and then they're a buyer, right? These great tenant buyers entice tons of investors to work with you to buy their home for them. And you or the realtor you're working with, if you're not one, gets to keep the hard-earned commission, right? So again, you're saving the commission you were going to make and then we're going to lose and then going to get. Okay. Now a bonus, guys, you could be the investor yourself. Okay. So I want you thinking about that. So the old Starbucks analogy. This is sometimes when people say, well, how does that work exactly, Jesse? How does it work? And one day I kind of thought to myself, and I think it was at a coffee shop, but I was like, well, think of it this way. Okay. So let's just say Jennifer here shaking her head. Jennifer and I walk into a Starbucks, okay? And it's a warm summer day. And, you know, we're friends and partners and work together. And she says, Jesse, oh, I'd love a coffee, right? But hey, I left my purse at home. Would you grab me one? And I say, hey, you know what? All good, I got you. But you know, we're business people, just for fun. I'll tell you what, you go pick out whatever you want up there. And if you agree to give me $7 for whatever coffee drink you want, right? And you give me 2 of those $7 today, I'll go get you whatever you want. I'm not that much of a jerk. I'd go get her the coffee. But the analogy proves my point, okay? So if Jennifer's like, shoot, you know, $7, aren't they $5? I was like, well, yeah, but you don't have any money. And so if you want the coffee, it's a little bit extra for you because you can't get it. And I got it right here. I can help you get it. So Jennifer's like, all right, fine. I want that. All good. I'll pay a little extra. Not a big deal. So she gives me the $2 she has, but she doesn't have 7. Well, I go take her $2 and I go bring in my $3 and I go to the barista and I say, hey, she's going to have, well, whatever you want. I don't care, right? Cappuccino, latte, blah, 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 because it's all the same price. But I know no matter what, I'm going to go buy it for 5, and I know she's buying it for 7, and I know I'm getting $2 right now up front no matter what. And if she doesn't give me the rest of the money in the next couple days, I have her coffee as collateral. Okay? So this is a little bit of kind of how it works with the system, right? So number 1, we find a buyer that can't buy. So you are finding a client or a buyer that can't buy. We are then matching it with an investor, right? And again, that's us guys. So remember, if you're number 1 at the beginning of this and you just want to get, you're like, I got leads, I'm busy, I'm a really busy buyer's agent, listing agent, I'm a busy agent, but I just want to get leads thrown, you know, to you and pay me, great. We got you. We'll cover you. But if you want to learn the system, then, you know, we kind of show you that too. So number 1, we find a buyer that can't buy. That's a tenant buyer. Number 2, we match them up with one of our investors, right? Number 3, the tenant buyer picks out the home that they want. Number 4, we create the deal with the magic spreadsheet, right? And so we're making a deal, we're making a win-win situation that's a win for the tenant buyer, it's a win for the investor, and obviously the seller selling their house, and of course the agent's getting paid, right? And then number 5, close on the home and then payday for everyone involved, right? So that's it. It's 5 steps, okay? And one of the things that I love
I'd just
most
like to
about
say one thing in the middle too,
please.
Jesse. Sorry.
Please. No, jump in.
What I love about the program is its full transparency,
Yes.
right? So the
Absolutely.
buyer knows going in totally how everyone is making money. There's no hidden any agenda, no hidden dollars, no hidden anything, right?
Yeah.
And the investor knows upfront all, you know, what the tenant buyer is going to pay, what the final purchase price is going to be, what their cash flow is. The tenant buyer sees all that too, right? So when I'm explaining it, hey, you're using my name, my money, my credit to get in the home you want today, because I'm bridging that gap for you. And for using my name, my money, my credit, there's a fee, the extra $2.
Right. There's a little premium. And they're like, okay, great. It's because it's either no coffee or a little bit extra for the coffee, right? You know, and one thing we say too, let's just say, for example, if that tenant buyer were to just walk away and then go get stuck in some lease in some other property, I don't care if it's a single family home or an apartment or a duplex, it's not theirs. And the house they want is going to be gone, right? It's going to be gone. And so this is a chance to say, well, you still get to get it and it's yours, right? And it will be yours, right? You have the option of buying it here in the future, but everything is agreed upon up front. And exactly like Jennifer said, and I'm glad you said that, it's just completely transparent, right? But Blue Ocean Strategy, guys, has anyone ever heard of this book or read this book, Blue Ocean Strategy? Okay, well, I won't completely give it away for you, but essentially, right, most of the world is in a bloody red ocean, right? You're either the biggest or the smallest or the cheapest or the fastest, and everyone's going after the same people, right? I don't know, FSBOs, canceled, expireds, right? Who can spend the most money? Who can call the most people? It's all red and bloody. Everybody's eating each other, okay? So you can try to be the biggest, the best, the fastest, whatever, or you could just swim out of the blood, swim to a different part of the ocean where it's nice and blue and clean, where you got your own thing, right? Because again, we're not chasing anybody down. We have people coming to us, and we show people how to get that where they're coming to you, right? Now, smart people who listen to this, and I know that's you because you're here and you're on and you're listening, you're paying attention. Smart people go, I'm going to think of whoever I can that I can help because I want to go be a good person, do the right thing and help people and make extra money. Really smart people go, these people are all over the place. What if I can find them? What if I can get them coming to me, right? And you can do a lot more transactions than just the handful that fall out a year, okay? So it's a whole different blue ocean strategy, guys. It's a whole new world. And so we're talking about the world of creative financing, right? So we're talking about lease options, lease to own, aka rent to own, and we're talking about owner financing, right? And also contract for deeds and land contract, right? And I could do a whole presentation for a couple of hours on each one of these, but just to break it down real quick and simple for you guys, right? And I'm curious too, by the way, who here has ever done a lease option, lease to own, contract for deed, land contract, right? Different kind of terminology depending on where you are in the country. And those are obviously different, transactions. But who's done one before? Have you bought one before? Put in the chat. Have you sold one this way? Put it in the chat. Right? Would love to know. Okay. So what is a lease option? Well, a lease option is a lease with the option to purchase the home in the future. Okay. The seller, investor retains the deed, they pay taxes and they get depreciation. The buyer, the tenant buyer, pays an option fee for the right and the privilege of buying the property at a later date and a predetermined price, right? So Jennifer would have the right to go buy that cup of coffee for $7. She doesn't have to buy it, but if she didn't buy that cup of coffee for $7 and chose not to buy it, which she could, she would have lost her option fee, which would have been her $2 she put down. That's non-refundable, okay? Now, they simply have a lease to occupy the home until they can qualify to get a loan from a bank in the future. And then when they get financing in the future, then they purchase the property and they take full ownership, right? That's a lease option. Now, a contract for deed or a land contract is a little bit different. So this is like buying a home through a bank with a mortgage, except the buyer has a contract for the deed directly with the seller. So the seller's like the bank, okay? The buyer pays a down payment, not an option fee, but a down payment, and they have an interest rate. And they pay property taxes and they pay homeowners insurance. They basically bought the house. They just bought it on an installment sale. Okay. They also have what's called equitable title. So the seller, i.e. our investor, which again could be you or we have them, right, is the person who has legal title, but then there's equitable title. So if you kind of pull them up on like the tax records, right? And again, put in the chat if you've ever bought or sold one through one of these options. Would love to know. But if you pull it up in the property tax records, it would kind of show both people's names, right, with the contract for deed. It's also a rate and term refinance when they go to get the mortgage, which is nice. Also, how I built a multi-million-dollar vacation rental portfolio, buying things on a contract for deed with barely any money down, and then refinancing based on the higher value and not having to come to the table with any money, right? So it's a beautiful way to buy and sell, whether you need it or don't need it, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, our goals for you are very simple. We want to help make more money with leads that you already have. We want you to help more clients. We want you to increase your value and become a better resource. We want you to be in a blue ocean strategy and stop chasing the same leads that everyone else is. We want you to learn how to make money with the leads that you're throwing away, right? They're right in your fingertips. We want to learn how to do more deals and more often, right? And spend less money on marketing. And you also just don't know what you don't know, right? And, if you've never done a lease to own, you've never done contract for deed or seller financing, this is new for you and that's okay, right? It's all good. Now, why us? Well, our unique background in lending and real estate, right? Both worlds, and investing gives you a wealth of knowledge at your fingertip. We've done hundreds and hundreds of deals over the last decade and really 15 plus years. We have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, right? So if you're going to be working with someone, you want to be working with somebody with, again, a mentor and a partner with integrity and ethics and morals, right? And who you're sending your clients to. And we've seen everything. We've put together all sorts of different creative deals. We've done this on, a $2 and $3 million property, 14 unit apartment building. We've done this on vacation rentals. Guys, unBankable is an option for a lot of different situations. Now, also, this is a massive opportunity. 3 out of 10 Americans don't qualify for a mortgage. And I think that's actually low, but 3 out of 10, okay? Now, if you look at financing, that falls apart even, right? So 4% of pending transactions cancel due to financing, right? 4. So just say in the Twin Cities, for example, that's over 2,600 deals that blow up a year. That's a lot for one little metro, okay? And many, many more are turned down, or they're not even turned down because they don't even try, right? They're the people that just think I can't qualify. And maybe they can't, but they don't even try, right? And no one's contacting these buyers, guys. So there's so much more opportunity and less competition because no one is going after unqualified buyers. Everyone's going after the same qualified buyers saying the same thing, right? And their riches are in the niches. Now, who out there agrees that there are millions of opportunities out there, right? You guys know that there are many of these already in your CRM. They're in your phone. They're in your sphere. They're in your lender's CRM, right? If you haven't jotted down right now your top 5 loan officers you work with, if you're an agent, you should be doing that right now and calling them and text them saying, hey, do you have any turndowns? What do you have for turndowns? Let's see if we can help them together, right? And your colleagues and your team in your office, and maybe you got someone else that they don't care. They're not going to do it because they just want easy peasy. All right, fine. Keep going after the same stuff. But you can take their turndowns and we can help them right now and you can get paid. And it's free. Okay, so who can we help? Who can you help? Well, we're helping people with low credit. We're helping people with no credit. Maybe a new job. Maybe a new business or less than 2 years in the business, right? Or taxes that show little to no income. I don't know. Anyone on here who maybe have taxes that show little to no income, right? Hello, pretty much any agent and lender and investor and entrepreneur, right? People who've been through a bankruptcy or a foreclosure. How about divorce, right? Holy cow, we see a lot of divorce situations. Everyone's great until they're not, and they have money and they need a home, right? But things are changing and there's some speed bumps for a little while, right? But we can help. Medical issues, or maybe people who just missed 1 or 2 payments, right? That's it. Amy knows. She has been a top lender and loan officer for years and years. Amy, how many people have you seen just miss 1 or 2 payments? And that's the thing that just blows it up, right? Or part-time income that doesn't count. There's a lot of different reasons, guys. So basic qualifications for tenant buyers. What we're looking for people with 10 to 20% down, okay? We're looking for people who have reasonable income that we can, of course, prove and verify. And we're looking for people that have the ability to get traditional financing within a few years by fixing the items that they currently are, stopping them from getting financing. So going from unbankable, right, to bankable. That's really it. So when you say, Jesse, who's somebody that we can send you? Who's someone we can help? 10 to 20% down, right? Obviously, more is always better, but 10 to 20% down. They got to have reasonable income that we can verify. And their story has to make sense. We have to have a good path to get from unbankable to bankable. That's really it. Okay.
Just a real quick,
Please.
so that was me. That was us 30 years ago. We owned a chain of Domino's pizza stores, my husband and I. We were raising our kids, and we had SBA loans. We had tons of employees. We had great income. The bank said no.
You're like, what? Hold on, what?
Because we were self-employed and, who knows? And so we were living an hour and a half away, which meant we were working 12-hour days and driving another 3 hours to go back and forth. So we were like, we can't do this anymore. We're killing ourselves. And so we did a lease option. We found a house we absolutely loved. The woman was downsizing. She had gotten remarried. Her kids were all moving away. It was a huge, gorgeous house, 3,600 square feet, 4-car garage in town, Portland, Maine. We love, love, love that house. We never, ever could have had that house if we hadn't been given that opportunity. So she let us move in. We gave money down, and she was willing to wait until the bank said, yep, you've proven yourself long enough. We'll let you have a loan. And we owned that house for almost 20 years. And at the time, I had no idea that's what it was. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I needed to take care of my family. And I think back now, I think, okay, so how many other business owners and other people they're great people. We weren't credit challenged. We didn't, there was nothing that we could have done to control it. But the bank said, you just don't fit our box.
Exactly. Exactly.
So look for
And I mean, is
people.
this the kind of person that you look at in the situation that goes, oh my God, that's somebody who they need a rent to own, they don't qualify, right? So guys, I'm telling you, and we're gonna get to a few different myths that there are about rent to own in this program, and we're gonna go through. It's kind of interesting, right, guys? But get that out of your head first and foremost, right? There's not this picture of who needs rent to own and this and that. I'll be honest, it's probably going to surprise you more often than it doesn't. Okay. And just the way the program works in the system and just the math, frankly, right? We're helping people who are ready to pay a regular mortgage price or a little bit more, right? So I wish that we could help someone on a very, very low budget. And unfortunately, just the way the math works, that's tough, right? So this is somebody who is, not getting a 50 or 100 or $200,000 home, certain areas, right? Depends on where you're at, right? But this is, someone who, again, has good money to put down. They just don't check every single box, or they had a little hiccup. They had a little hurdle, right? But they maybe already are a homeowner and they can't get the next house. Agents, would you like more listings if you knew they could get to the next house? How many listings have you not gotten because they're like, well, I don't have nowhere to go? Oh, well, you have nowhere to go. Then I guess I can't sell your house. All right, bye-bye. Well, that sucks, right? Well, this can change that for you, okay? So this is Gary. Gary was a business owner, right? And his loan officer referred him to us. And he said, hey, I've got nothing but appreciation for them and everything they're doing for me. Having a new business makes it tough to get financing, but luckily that doesn't always matter with a program like unBankable, right? This is Jesse and Megan. Jesse also business owner, right? And look at this house, by the way. This is a beautiful, beautiful home. This is a big, nice, beautiful, expensive home, and they were on the way to get this home, and then the financing had some hiccups again, just because of almost Jennifer's same story, frankly. And their agent, right? Imagine losing commission on almost $950,000 house. That's a lot to lose. It's a lot of commission and a lot of hard work, right? And luckily, we were able to step in and help. And that agent got to keep his commission. And Jesse and his family and Megan and got to get the house still in that home, beautiful home. And they needed a home like that for their family and for the number of people they needed to take care of. Right. So now I don't want these myths to stop you from helping people and making great money doing it. So we're going to go into a couple myths. Okay, guys. And we're going to go into a couple myths. And I don't want these to stop you because these are things you have in your head. And we're here to show you that there's so many more people you can help. So myth number one, guys, is the van down by the river, right? Remember that? The old Chris Farley, living in a van down by the river. People think that all the tenant buyers, are someone who has just horrible credit, bad credit, they're dead broke, right? We don't want these leads. These sound like horrible leads, Jesse. Wrong. Totally wrong. There are tons of tenant buyers that do have some credit or even good credit and have money down, right? Plus, we have no minimum credit score. So it's all about the story, right? It's all about the situation. And a lot of our buyers, again, most of them are putting down between 10 and 20% down. They're not living in a van down by the river, right? One of our tenants was Jonathan, and we helped him, but he unfortunately had some medical issues, right? So he had some medical issues that led to him not working for a while and not being able to pay his bills. Then because of that, his credit dropped like a rock, right? And then he got stuck with having a hard time once COVID hit. So, he had all of these things happening. Well, he finally got stable employment, but his credit needed some time to get better, right? So now he's back on his feet. Now he's got a job. Now he's got money, but his credit doesn't just bounce back like that, right? So with our system, he still was able to get the home that he wanted when he wanted it. Now he's got the time to work on his credit during his lease to own period for the next couple of years, right? And then the agent that was helping him still got paid. right? Now, also, guys, sometimes you can make even more than a normal deal through the unbankable system, okay? So this is a check where it was actually more than I would have made on a regular commission because of this, right? Now, myth number 2, you have to have a big marketing budget to succeed. Wrong. Guys, 98% of agents spend hundreds or thousands of dollars marketing every month. We're showing you how to get leads for free, and the ones that you already have, you just don't know about. So I guarantee you, right, you have tens of thousands of dollars easily in your fingertips right now, but you just didn't realize you could help them. And you probably don't know what to say and what the next step is, right? So other agents are chasing leads. We have them coming to us. So we want to show you how you can find lead sources, right? Not just leads, but lead sources that are going to give you consistent conveyor belt of leads. Not just one lead and as a one and done, but a lead system, right? We want to show you that. So we have people that are emailing us and texting us and DMing us from social media, right? Because they have a situation and they have a problem and they know that we can solve that, right? Another situation, this is just a great family I worked with, was Heather, who was a divorced single mom with 4 kids, and her pending sale fell through, right, due to her credit and divorce issues. Her and her agent found the perfect house for her and her family. They've been looking for a long time, but the financing fell apart halfway through, right? So this is a blow-up deal. Well, someone the agent knew referred her to us, and we were able to help out. So we kept the closing on track, and we were able to get her and her kids in the perfect house that they were so excited to move into. They almost lost it, right? And they got that instead of having to go rent some crappy small apartment, which is what they were looking at doing until we knew we could get it done, right? So everybody won because of the system. Right, now myth number 3, this program only helps me find more buyers. Okay, hold on now. Okay, hold on. This is a couple of writer downers in here, guys, all right? Because we're going to show you how you can sign more listings and get a higher price than other traditional offers by leveraging our program, right? And the best part is the seller still gets to sell. They get to make their money and move on with no strings attached. But you get additional leads, right? And you have additional marketing, and you get to market seller financing and lease to own, right, from your listing, and it provides you free bonus leads. So you're going to find maybe a different lead or a new lead that wants that listing of yours. They might pay more money for the listing potentially, right? And if they don't want your listing that you're marketing for, now you have yet another lead that cost you nothing just by putting in some verbiage. And now you've got more buyers, right? It's a no-brainer. So you get your sale and a new buyer that you never would have got without doing that, right? Myth number 4, investing in real estate. Oof, boy, investing in real estate takes a lot of money, risk, and a lot of time. Who's ever heard that before, right? Who's heard that investing, it's really risky and it's really tricky and it's not fast and it takes a lot of money? Guys, wrong. Right? Our system helps both new and experienced investors get properties as little as 5 to 10% down, sometimes zero, like Jennifer here. Zero down, right? Zero down in net, at least, net investment, versus your normal 20 to 25% down. So we have tenant buyers lined up day one with predetermined, pre-agreed upon rents, and they know their cash flow and bottom line, right? Guys, I was presenting today to a couple of investors online, right? And they had a couple rental properties. And I just said, okay, well, let's talk about it. The normal way is you go get a rental property and you either inherit a tenant, which could go good, could go bad, right? Jennifer's had that experience. You think you're getting somebody good and you're like, oh crap, I did not win the lotto. I did not luck out, right? But you're inheriting them and you put down your 20% and then you get 1 month's rent. Ooh, that's going to do a lot. And now you're a landlord. Welcome to the ball game. Well, what if you already knew what your cash flow was up front? And what if you had 10 to 20% down non-refundable instead of 1 or 2 months rent? And what if you had somebody who walks in every day going, this is my house. They take care of it like it's their house. They treat it like it's their house. They're not calling you to fix and repair everything because they're handling a lot of that, right? It's a different ballgame, guys. It's a completely different ballgame. So, and let's talk about flipping, right? I flip a lot of houses throughout the year. Well, the thing with flipping is you're guessing at what it's going to sell for when you're done with it, aren't you? You're guessing at how much it's going to cost to repair it. You're guessing at how long it's going to take to repair it. And if everything goes according to plan, which it never does, right, ladies? Never, right? But if it does, you know what you think you're going to get. Okay. And then you pay the highest taxes on it, which is insane, right? Now you're paying short-term capital gains and you're paying like ordinary income. Well, what if you did it this way, where I know I'm going to get cash flow every single month for the next 2 or 3 years? I get long-term capital gains. I get depreciation. Oh, and I already know what my flip profit is without swinging a hammer. I don't swing any tools. I do zero work and I still get to flip the property. Okay. Guys, if you said at the beginning of this presentation, I'm in bucket number 3. I'm an investor. I want to be an investor. Guys, this is one of the best strategies there is. Okay. So let's recap, right? The opportunity, guys, one deal a month could be an extra 100 to 200 grand for your business. Okay. We've done the math and you've seen just a few of our deals, right? That's all it takes. You can even make commissions if another realtor brings you the potential buyer. We know there are millions of buyers out there that can't buy, and no one is going after these folks to help them. We know there are millions of investors out there, maybe even you, right, that want cash flow in real estate. And we know there's a choice to drop a lot of money on marketing on the same leads that everyone else is going after in the red bloody ocean, or you can go after these untapped leads that can be zero cost, right? Can we all agree with this? If you agree with this, guys, can I get a me? Can I get a me in the chat, please? If you agree with this, right? Drop a me in the chat. Unless you want to be in the red bloody ocean, spending more money going after the same leads as everyone else, drop a me in the chat, please. Okay, guys, the model, there's no overhead, right? There's no marketing budget. Opportunities come to you, not the other way around. You get paid twice on the same deal sometimes. The more people you help, the more people you make, right? You help investors get cash flowing properties. You help tenant buyers get what they want right now. You help other agents save their commission. You help loan officers fill their future pipelines, right? And you get paid to do all of this on leads that other people are not even looking at. They're not going for, they're ignoring, they don't know what to do with it, right? That's what we're doing here, okay? So remember, guys, with some of the myths, not all turndowns are broke with no money in a van down by the river. Many of them have $30K, $50K, even $100,000 to put down, and the credit scores don't matter in our game, okay? Plus, junk leads can pay you actually more than what a regular good lead will, right? You can even double dip sometimes and make 2 times more with this system if you choose to do this as a system, okay? And your competition is chasing and paying for all the same leads, not us. Nope, we're getting them for free and they're getting to us. They're coming right to us instead of the other way around, okay? So, and then also, guys, don't forget too, how many more listings that you can sell and faster and for possibly more money and get more buyer leads using this strategy that you totally would have missed if you didn't do it that way, right? Now, in my opinion, at least for me, normal landlording is dead, right? Landlording to me is dead. Why would you put down 20 to 25% down for a tenant when you can use this system that tells you what your cash flow is up front, what your profit is up front, as long as it goes full circle into the end, right? And you can buy properties as low as 5 to 10% down possibly. Your investors or yourself, you can do 2 to 3 times the number of deals. Okay. Again, now, if you're a loan officer listening to this, right, you should have already been putting down a list of all of the investors you work with. And you can think, okay, well, if the Johnsons could do 2 deals this year, maybe they could do 4 unbankable deals. If the Smiths can do 3, maybe they could do 6. How many more pre-approvals do you want? How many more deals do you want to close? Because investors are just looking for more deals. We have the deals. We create the deals. We're deal creators, right? And we can show you guys how to do the exact same thing, right? Now, also, you want your own portfolio of properties, right? The easiest way to do it, in our opinion, is our 3-1 punch method, okay? Well, what's the 3-1 punch method? Well, the 3-1 punch method is go help 3 buyers get a home that normally would have been turned down and denied. Take that money from those 3 deals you just made, stack that up, right? Maybe $10, $15, $20, $25,000. Boom, boom, boom. Now go get your own. Now the next opportunity, you're like, I'm going to keep this one. This is mine, right? Go do 3 deals, keep one. 3 deals, keep one, right? It's a beautiful system. And guys, you can do this anywhere. So that's one of the things. If you know me, right, you know I don't like to sit still. You know I love to travel. You know I love people. You know I love to go see my folks and my people. And so, right, I've literally closed deals on vacation in Fort Myers, at a mastermind in LA. I literally locked up a deal when I just got done with the mastermind. You can do this anywhere, okay? So you really only need 3 tools for this. You need a mobile phone, you need your laptop, and you need the magic spreadsheet. Or you just throw them to us. Okay, so again, I want to remind you, there's a few different options. just throw us the leads and we'll pay you and take care of it, or you can learn how to do it yourself, okay? And we can show you either one of those, whatever works best for you, right? Now, one of the things I think is so cool about this, guys, so cool, and some of you may know our dude, Eric, one of the best guys ever. Eric was in a presentation, or I was giving a presentation, I don't know, to like 50, 60 realtors, okay? And he comes up to me after the end of the presentation. He's like, hey, man, hey, does this work for realtors? I was like, yeah, dude, it works for realtors. I'm like, yeah, as long as you're kind of, fit the box. Do you have some money to put down on the home? Do you have a reason that, makes sense that you can't qualify? And he's like, yeah, I'm a new agent. I've been doing this a little over a year. I'm kicking butt, but I only have 1 year of taxes. I'm like, okay, well, do you have some money? And you think that you're going to keep going up and up, or at least the same? He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, guess what? He was renting. So he went from renting a place to rent to owning a duplex, right? And now he has 7 units. And I think he's actually on 8 right now. So we had to update that. He's at 8 units, and it all started from unBankable, which is pretty dope. And he loves it so much, and he knows it so well. He's now on our team helping our buyers through the process, and he's amazing at it, guys. So again, as it's an honor of mine to be a coach and a mentor, and to help a lot of our students in our community, right, with their real estate investing business, right. One of the things I like to preach a lot, right, and Jennifer and Amy probably know this, and they preach it now as well. We want to help you guys get lead systems, not just leads, but lead systems, right? We want you to go after a conveyor belt of people bringing you leads, not just 1 or 2 here and there. So we're going to help you do that, right? People come to us because we can help solve their problems, right? Again, how do you have people messaging you, DMing you, emailing you, right? Well, we can show you that. While we were making this presentation, no joke, got a lead while we're making it, right? So they're just coming in. They're coming in our way, right? So again, who agrees that this could help you do more business? Do you agree? Can this system help you close more deals, help more people? If you agree with that, say aye in the chat. Okay? So remember we talked at the very beginning? We talked about how we can help you. Well, we want to help you do more deals and help more people together. Our community makes money by matching buyers that can't buy with investors, right? We can help you because we have buyers that want homes, right? So which one are you? Between 1, 2, and 3, right? And for those of you that are still here, that are still on board right now, we've got something special, okay? But which one are you, a 1, 2, or a 3? I want you to drop this in the chat, okay? So number 1, again, if you're just kind of a very busy agent, maybe a busy lender, and you're like, hey, I got business is great, but more is always better, and I want to just be able to take my leads and just give you my leads, or give them to the person who sent you to this presentation, who sent you to this training, right? And you just want to give them your leads? Awesome. Give them your leads, get paid on them. Let's help people together, okay? But maybe you're number 2, like Jennifer and Amy, and you might say, hey, I want to help more people make even more money by learning the unbankable system. How do I learn the system? How do I go find tenant buyers and investors and match them up and get paid and make a business out of that, right? By the way, a business that can make more than just a normal transaction, right? A normal business. Or are you a number 3? Do you want to create a lifestyle business and financial freedom by starting or scaling an existing real estate investing business? Okay. Do you want to stop trading dollars for hours? Do you want to start growing a portfolio? Do you want to be able to have cash flow coming in? So when you have a down month, it's covering you, right? And one of my Airbnbs just put in another $4,000 this month, which is awesome, right? So if something goes down, I've got multiple streams of income from the real estate, from the properties, from the types of real estate, right? We've got a flip coming on that's going to do X, right? So it's about learning these different things. So drop in the chat, guys, okay? Are you a number 1? I just want to hand my leads and get them to you and make money and help people. Are you a 1? Are you a 2? I kind of want to maybe learn the system, and I want to learn how to do this and, get a little bit more involved. Either one's fine, guys, 1 or 2. We don't really care. We just want to help you. Or are you a 3 and you want to create a lifestyle business and financial freedom? And again, either get started or maybe you're already in investing, scale, right? Because we want to help you. We've got some ways that we can do that. All right. Now, bonus, if you stayed this far, right? Congratulations. If you stayed this far, we want you to put in Deal Creator Life. That's the exclusive password. That's the password. Deal Creator Life. Okay. So if you type in Deal Creator Life And if you're a number 1, 2, or 3, we are going to get to you the bonus, the free exclusive resources, so you can start kicking butt and getting names and people we can help and start growing this, right? So again, those email scripts, those phone scripts, right? Some of the social media stuff that you can just copy, paste, and deploy, we're going to get that to you. Okay, so make sure you put that in there. Deal Creator Life, we got to see that. Deal Creator Life, and are you a number 1, a 2, or a 3, so we know how we can best help you. All right? Okay, guys, your next steps are number 1, create your list of turn down buyer referrals. Okay, I know a few of you hustlers were probably already doing this from the first 5 minutes. Okay, write your list down. Number 2, create your list of possible investor referrals. Okay, who do you know that's a landlord? Who do you know that's an investor? Are you an investor? Do you want to scale? Do you want to grow? Right? Do you want a beautiful deal on a silver platter to get handed to you? Because we got them. Okay. Number 3, reach out to at least, and guys, this is light work. Reach out to five loan officers. Sorry, number 3, 5. Reach out to 5 loan officers to spread the word. Okay. Then I want you to reach out to 5 other agents to spread the word. Right? And then last, book a 30-minute follow-up call with the person who sent you here. Okay? So whoever said, hey, you got to get to check this out, whoever sent you here, I want you to book a 30-minute call with them. Do it in the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay? Do it tomorrow if you can. And book that call and see how you can do more business together. But guys, I'm telling you, we have helped hundreds and hundreds of people, made millions of dollars collectively doing this. And this is an amazing system. And I'm telling you, it's a lot more fun, rewarding, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to let Jennifer and Amy jump in with anything else. And then also, guys, we have probably maybe 4 to 5 minutes for some questions because we want to respect your time. And, we are looking at maybe doing a special training for those of you that want to really get deeper in this. And again, we have some opportunities we can help you with that, but we probably have about 4 or 5 minutes for some questions. So if you've got some questions, and I can't see anything in the chat, ladies, so hopefully you're looking in there. But I'm over here in presentation world. So let's, if you got some questions, drop it in the chat, and love to know who's doing what.
So we have had lots of interaction. People are really like being active in here, and I love it. And they're answering back. So we have a lot of 2s, a few 3s, definitely some 1s. So that's amazing. Everyone feels like they've learned some fantastic things. So I just want to make sure, Jesse, too, before you shut the chat down, make sure that we're going to copy that. So I believe I've read most of them as they've gone through, but I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. So does anybody have a particular question that I'd love, you'd really like us to answer right now before we take off? Miss Amy.
And while we're waiting on folks to be able to put any questions in there, I would say a common question that we get all the time from our real estate agents, do we also help investors in regards to becoming the hybrid, from the hybrid investor from the buyer? Okay, I can talk sometimes.
I know where you're
And
going.
so we just recently had an investor that was looking to grow his first property, and he only had 10% down on a 4-plex. And so this is one that really opened my eyes to see something a little bit different, because typically they would have 20% or 25%. And we may have touched on this, but this is kind of like something when we're peeling back the onion that, like, what? An investor can buy an investment property, and our hybrid investors will come in and buy that for them. Our hybrid investors get cash flow, and our buyer, right, that it's an investor with 10% or more, right? They need at least 10% or more, and both of them had cash flow and properties.
Hello.
Right. Hello,
The
right?
investor is the tenant buyer. They're one and the same, but they have an investment property.
Right. And then the real estate agent got their commission for an investor who couldn't buy, right? And then a hybrid investor bought for them. And so now it's a win-win-win. And so they can do it over and over and over, because now they can take, even if they had the money, right? They can go and buy another property.
Yeah, exactly.
Where before they could only buy one.
Yeah.
And so that's a common thing that we get. And then all the time we get, hey, what is my commission? What is my commission?
Mhm.
It's 100%, guys. It's 100% commission. And so if you send that referral, you get your commission.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's great to point out. It's great to point out, right? So I think, one of the fun things that I love to see is when people start getting the brain wrapped around this. And because here's the thing, you could be in a meeting, you could be in a conversation, and if your ears are now perked up to this, you're going, wait a minute, what? Like you heard the word divorce or turn down or self-employed or business owner, right? Or underwriting. Like my ears perk up and I go, wait a minute, maybe I can, try to swoop in with my cape and try to save the day if I need to, right? And that's the thing is we're here if you need us. And if you don't, great. We don't want you to need us. But also keep in mind all the people that are not talking about this situation, right? So as I was talking with a few investors the other day, and guys, no one's jumping on Facebook and saying, hey, going through this crappy divorce right now. My credit's probably a 485. And yeah, things are pretty bad. No one's saying that. Okay. No one's going to post that. No one's going to raise their hand. But if you took, right, maybe one of our bonuses and you copy and pasted a message and you put it in a Facebook, you put it in Instagram, you do the old TikTok, you put it wherever you want to put it. And then somebody sees that, again, they're not going to probably publicly, say a bunch of stuff. They're going to message you. They're going to message you. They're going to call you. They're going to text you. They're going to say, hey, that post you did the other day, what's that all about? Tell me more about that. You'll be like, I'm so glad that you reached out to me. And now you're having a conversation. You're saying, well, I think I can help, right? And here's how this works. Or I'm not even sure how it works, right? But I know the person that sent me to this, they know how this works. I know I can talk with Jennifer and Amy and Jesse, and they know how this works. Let's get you there, right? So we definitely don't expect anybody to be a pro in this yet and understand it. Just look for people that can't get financing and need help. Look for people that are investors and want to get started investing or scale in investing. And these are all folks that we can help more together. And it's just talking, it's just sharing, right? And clearly, as you guys can see, there's nothing to sell. We offer an amazing product and solution, right? So if you're aware of it and you're looking for those opportunities of people to help, it can be, just a really amazing additional stream of business. You could scrap, what you're doing and make it your whole business. You could add to it. There's all sorts of different things that you can do with, being a creative real estate investor this way.
And I will say it's kind of like one thing that if you've ever bought like a red car, right? It's kind of funny that, you never see red cars, but once you buy one, you see them everywhere. So this is the opportunity to be able to kind of, wait, you didn't even know? Now that you know, you're going to see a lot more opportunity. And now you know what to do with that. And then one other thing I would say that a lot of our referral partners do is take the email and be able to reach out to all of their past database and just let them know now they have a new solution.
Yeah. Yep. That's a really good idea. It's a really good idea.
Yeah, no other questions in here right now, gang. I would say, but feel free. Amy has posted in the chat there a couple of times. Go to the website. There's frequently asked questions, not only for you as the realtor, but also some, you could answer some questions for your tenant buyers. Feel free to reach out to us because we are more than happy, any of us, to get on the phone with you, answer some questions, walk you through. I have people that call all the time and say, hey, can you help my tenant buyer with this? We're really trying to get, we do it all the time and we love it. I mean, I had to post today so agents pay attention. I have a new tenant buyer in Maine. So I had to go find agents in Maine that I can give leads to. So would you like that phone call of, hey, can you take somebody shopping?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Had to go find somebody to give them money, give them a lead, right? And so you guys could be doing the same thing too. One thing you just kind of jogged my memory a little bit about that, Jennifer, but if you're a branch manager, if you're a broker, okay, or maybe you should go talk to your branch manager and your broker, this is a great way also to attract people, right? Let's be honest. People are leaving, right, in groves, unfortunately. So again, I totally commend you, right? And we just absolutely love and respect you for being here and spending this time, right? You're our kind of people that we'd love to see, you take this and run, and just other opportunities we can help with. But it's something that your brokerage, your team, if you could offer and help and train other people how to do this, right? Maybe those other people, your colleagues, don't have to leave and go get a job, and they don't have to leave and give it up in the business, which is just really sad to see. But this offers a way where you don't have to do that. And again, it can be very rewarding and very lucrative at the same time. So yeah,
One
broker
thing
team
I'll say
leads.
for the loan officers here, of course, our hybrid investors, they get a loan. They leverage that. So although the tenant buyer is not a buyer right now, so maybe 1, 2, 3 years, but that hybrid investor, they need a loan right now.
Yep, I went and took out a loan.
Yeah. So you've got money waiting for you, right? It's just mixing and matching, right? Who do we know that are investors? Who do we know that wants to get into it? Who do I know that's pre-approved, right? I would go look, if I work with any investors, if I work with any loan officers that work with investors, right? I would go look at my pipeline and go, hey, you closed a loan 9 months ago. Do you want more? And they're probably going to say, yeah, but they're just waiting for a good deal. And you can say, oh, well, I think I can get you some good deals, right? So we'd be honored to help any of your folks. And again, reach out to the person who invited you here to this so they can help you in your business and your team, right? But otherwise, we're here for you guys, and we appreciate you. And this is just unbankable, guys. Just one of the many systems and strategies that we teach in our Deal Creator Academy. So, if you're kind of like, hey, I'd really like to start building my own cash flow and financial freedom, right? And I'd like to start getting my own portfolio, but I don't really know where to find the money. I don't really know how to find leads. I don't really know how to analyze them. I don't really know which system should I fix and flip, wholesale, short-term rental, sober living, storage. What should I do? Guys, we do that. So we do go through that entire thing in our 12-month academy. It's pretty cool. We have a couple of different ways that we can help. And so if that's something where you're like, oh, wow, I'm not where I want to be, but I know I need to go in this direction, we would be honored to help you get there, because we've all gotten to where we're at by, finding the right mentors, the right coaches, people that are doing what we want to do at a higher level, and just get around them. And right, we can help you save a lot of time and money and stress, by doing that. So we'd be honored to help you in any way with that as well. So ladies, anything else?
That's it. I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and thank you for attending.
Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great week, and reach out and remember your 5 steps here, and let's get some deals put together and help you guys. All right.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. See you, everybody.